All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
All right, anyone else? Aye, did we skip one aye? I didn't hear. Okay, so before we kick it off, just very briefly, congratulations, Lisa, what appears to be a victory. I know there's some votes counted, yet to be counted.
Thank you
But
very much.
congratulations. The town will undoubtedly move forward one way or another. So we're going to be all right. That being said, we still have things we have to do today. So let's get to it.
Okay, so we have just a couple of administrative items and then one item that actually isn't on the agenda just for discussion with the board. And so if you don't mind, I actually may start with that first.
Go ahead.
Is that we've gotten a request from the development department from Sabrina she has noted that her office remains inundated with building applications. In the past, the buildings department had traditionally closed a little earlier than closed to the public earlier than the rest of the offices at town hall. Traditionally, they had closed at 4 when the rest of town hall was closing at 4:30. She's actually put in a request to have her office close at 3:30 to the public to allow them time to take and actually get through all the building application and try to stay on top of the permit issuances. They traditionally have tremendous backlogs, and it really, as there continues to be a very hot real estate market, and title searchers are coming in fast and furious. They're trying to figure out how to be more efficient. I'd love to be able to give her this flexibility to be able to work with the staff she currently has without incurring overtime and without having to bring additional staff on for us to be able to keep on top of the workload. So with the board's permission, starting I think it's going to be the 10th of November. I'd like to allow the buildings department to take and close at 3:30 to the public. Staff will still be there. They'll still be answering the phones. They'll be doing their work. But they will close at 3:30 to the public to allow them to just get paperwork done and move these applications along. I think whatever grumblings we may hear initially from people being inconvenienced will be dwarfed by the relief most homeowners will be feeling when they see that their applications and their building permits and their COs are moving ahead at a reasonable pace. I don't want to be in a position where we're 6 and 8 weeks behind again. It's unfair to people who are trying to just get their transactions moving along.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Is the board okay with that?
Okay with that. Is it enough time? Do they need to be closing at 3?
I'd like to start with 3:30 and let's just see how they do. A whole hour a day really should be enough time for them to get a real handle on this stuff. I'm not adverse to, some overtime if necessary, but but let's just try the 3:30 and see how we do.
Hey, Jill, just a thought. Would we want to consider having them close at 3, but one day a week stay open till the 4:30 in case people can't get there early and need to come?
So it's sort of interesting. They have a lot of contractors that just sort of come in and out, and they're still available for appointments, and they are answering their phones. So there isn't an awful lot that they need to actually, it's the disruption of people coming through and sort of disturbing them.
Just a thought. I don't have a problem with them closing early.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's more confusing to the public to have people be open just, one day a week. Let's just try this. If we get complaints, I would certainly go back to Sabrina and say to her, one day a week, whether it be Friday or something like that, you've got to be open to the full 4:30 to be able to accommodate people. But even when we were only having, appointments in the morning, I was unaware that we were getting any complaints that people couldn't make the timing. So.
I think it makes sense, Jill. And perhaps we just put it on the sign at Bell School so that people, when they're coming out of the parking lot, they'll see it. And then as well as just some updated signage at the front of Town Hall.
Yeah, and I'd
when
like
you do the
to,
summer hours, something like
Yep,
that,
yep.
as a gentle
Okay.
reminder. I think,
Right.
I mean, it's a week out. We still have time to notify everybody. So I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and you know, and the fact that people are actually, that the office is fully staffed is if somebody comes in and they need to do something.
Right. And we still have that Dropbox, right?
Absolutely. And that's been fabulously helpful.
Yeah,
That's
everyone I've talked to loves it.
Yeah, that's a real game changer. And with tax as well. I mean, the Dropbox being able to drop things off 24/7 is just huge. So
Okay.
that's really helpful. Okay, thank you very much. I think that would be really helpful. All right, so we're going to do that as of November 10th. We'll put it out in the newsletter, and they'll put signage starting tomorrow out and about. Okay, it's wonderful. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, getting back to the agenda, which is really short and sweet.
All right, get back to it.
All right, the first thing we've got is a payment of claims. Anyone have any questions on that? Bob's here for that. Next, Christina, since we have you here, and might as well do like a traditional work session. We've got an authorization to purchase the handheld devices. Do you just want to talk to the board a little bit about this?
Sure. So we've included in the packet a proposal from a company who provides this service. In the past, we've always had a handheld device that the parking enforcement officers or police officers use when they're writing tickets. They input it directly into the device. It allows them to take pictures. So it kind of shores up the case or removes the he said, she said. Unfortunately, the devices we had are no longer supported, and it's beyond being no longer supported. The company dissolved years ago. We've been kind of patching it together with the help of our IT company, but now they no longer work at all. You can't export the information. So all tickets are being handwritten. It causes additional work and a lot more time because then they have to be inputted into the court system and it's not real time. So if you get a ticket and you come, you grab it right off your car, want to come here, you can't pay it because the court doesn't have any information on it. So we are interested in having replacement devices. We researched it, and this company does many municipalities in Westchester and Long Island. They are recommended by parking enforcement officers and courts, and we would ultimately like 2 devices. At this point, we're asking for 1, and then because there was some money in the budget, Rob and Jill were able to find that for us. And in the future, hopefully you'll see us again when we come back for the second one. So we're hoping to approve it. It will take some time to ramp it up, make it, get it on board because the interfaces with the different programs in court and police. But we'd like to get it moving as soon as possible if the board approves.
Yeah, that's an expenditure of $4,646.65. So that there'll be a
Christina, I
resolution
just
for that.
want to, I don't know if you want to talk to or you want me to, just to explain a little bit also about the kind of the software and the agreement and the collection procedure and everything that comes along with this machine, because that's a little bit of a change from what we've been doing.
Yeah, that is. So if people pay the ticket within the first 30 days, 100% of it goes right into the town. This software does collections as well, which is something that, again, is a huge time saver, and it's harder for our clerks to, stay on the 30-day, 60-day notice and that type of thing. They keep doing that, and then so they keep reaching out to get the collections, and then they keep a portion of it. Doesn't cost us anything. And we've had problems with these old tickets that people, if you don't hound the people like a collection agency would, you don't get payment for them. And Rob can probably expand on that when we start talking about old debt and things like that.
Yeah, you've probably seen in the past, and we haven't done it every year, but every couple of years where we actually have to forgive the old tickets. They're on the books and the auditors don't like them on for multiple years. So we end up forgiving, it's sometimes a couple $100,000 if it's every 3 years or so that we do. And, these are tickets that we're just not able to collect. A lot of times the people have sold their vehicles. A lot of times they were not from the area. So I think we kind of look at being able to collect something from some portion as opposed to nothing is better. And just to remind you also, after 30 days, the ticket amount doubles. So we're never losing the base amount if we collect it. So I think, I think this is a good, I think it's a good operation, a good procedure. And, the company has their own website. You go on there and pay, and they remit the money to us. So we did still have a few questions. Keenan Bean is reviewing, Amanda's looking over the agreement, I think. And we just had a couple questions as far as, number one, we wanted to know what it costs our residents as far as the credit card fee. We're assuming just like a standard 3 or 4%, which we would have to pass along as well. But we're trying to confirm that, and just some other logistics with the payment to the town and how we receive that payment. So,
And the other, standard stuff that Keenan Bean does all the time, just make sure we're protected, make sure the insurance limits are correct. And so that they're going back and forth with, again, Amanda and the attorneys for SBS.
Right. So Lauren, we should just make sure that the resolution, the way it's written, it's adopted subject to approval of council as to form and substance when we approve it.
It is.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, does the board have any other questions on this? We're finally going to move into the 20th century on parking permits. That's great. Parking enforcement.
Thank you.
The next thing is, of course, is the authorization to purchase water meters. And this is a request coming from Bart. It's a $25,000 expenditure for stock and immediate use. It's assorted water meters at 2021 pricing, and we're trying to get in under the wire on that before the pricing goes up for next year. With 91 townhomes coming in at the East Village, we know that we are going to need them. So this is 100 assorted wall transmitters and different types of meters that the water department's going to need. So
Is that in the budget?
yeah. So what happened, you may remember a few years back, we began kind of a cycle of replacing meters throughout town. And back then we had discussed whether or not we wanted to buy them in a lump sum or whether they could be done over a period of years. And we decided against doing the lump sum because frankly, we just don't have the staff to, if we had purchased, 6,000 water meters or whatever, we don't have the staff to go out there and do that all at once anyway. So there was no reason to purchase them all at the same time. So we've been replacing them throughout town. And as Jill mentioned, with the townhomes coming, probably sooner rather than later. So you'll probably see another request next year, and it has been included in the water budget for the last few years.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. And last but not least on the administrative items is a clarifying resolution. And it's a little confusing, but the bottom line is that we, on September 28th of this year, the board approved the purchase of 3 above ground replacement oil tanks for the price of $655,917. The award went to Aventura. That's all correct. The only problem is that the resolution wasn't specific in that it didn't note that we accepted the base bid and alternate 2, and we selected the deduction of alternate 3. So we need that language in there so that our auditors are satisfied that we were properly specific in what we actually purchased. So it's just a clarifying resolution. It's a little bit longer than normal. I apologize about that, but we try to do it simple, and turns out council turned around and said that we really needed the detail in there to be specific. So this is just a ministerial correction of the first resolution. So it's not an additional purchase. You already purchased it. We did it once. These are exactly the right thing and for the same amount of money.
Out of curiosity, Jill, who caught that?
I'm sure it's Diana, right?
Probably. I was going to say that in order for her to pay that out, she would need that clarification that we were accepting the alternates because it wasn't the same amount that the resolution was. So
right, because otherwise the pricing wouldn't have worked, and you have to specify it. So yeah,
Diana.
she's fabulous. Yeah, yeah, attention to detail like nobody's business. So yeah, pretty great. That's all I have before we go to resolutions. I just did want to just give the board an update. We actually had a really nice meeting today. We had 6 applicants for our Epic Ambassador Employment Program at over at TAPAC. And so we met with 4 out of the 6 today, and they're fabulous. And we're really excited. We met there with Andrew Tedder, who's going to be managing it for us, and Lucille Rossi, who's been just invaluable. And we had a wonderful meeting with them, and we're hoping that the first event that they're going to be ushering is the U.S. Air Force Band, who is coming on the 13th, Saturday the 13th, I want to say 2:30, 3:30 in the afternoon. There'll be details about it in the e-newsletter, but we're just so excited to launch this program, and they were so fabulous. I was so impressed. So it was great. It was great. So I've got, I'm cautiously optimistic. So just want to let you guys know.
That's
That
good.
and yeah, the Greeley Woods has been reopened, that path. Yay. Olmsted came last Friday, and although they were not the best timing or location at Lower King for a little while there, what they did do while they were in town was took care of all of the dead and dying trees along Greeley Woods, and did just a ton of work there. So that's open and safe for people to be using again, which is great because one of my favorite paths in through town. Okay, that's all I've got.
Hey, Jill, could we ask Christina if she received anything about that hot cocoa truck?
Sorry, thank you so much for reminding me. Christina, there is an event December 11th in town with the chamber. There's going to be a hot cocoa truck. Did you receive anything?
I don't think I did. I feel like I remember seeing something. Did they do a banner request or something? No.
No, it was just because they definitely do need like a permit approval to park that truck on Greeley Avenue, right? Jill and Christina, that's what we did.
We have given them permission before
Yeah,
to do it.
okay.
So I would just, that way the police know about it and everything else. Yeah, if you could just mention it or tell me who.
I can email her, Jill. Don't worry, I'll CC you and I'll make sure that she gets it on the agenda so that we can approve it quickly. And
right, and you saw the email from Tom that from Drew rather that we're all good. We don't need any change to our law. Terrific. All right. Yeah, so that's great. That'll be a terrific event as well. Just some munching in town. Looking forward to it. Does anybody have anything else? Otherwise, we'll do our resolutions.
Fire away. Bueller?
Sorry, it's my bad. All right. I move to approve the payment of claims in the amount of $301,566.69 listed on the summary pre-check writing report and detail voucher detail report, both dated October 29, 2021. Checks will be issued and mailed to each claimant listed on Thursday, November 4th, 2021.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
I move to authorize the hiring of Max Palmieri to the position of seasonal laborer within the Recreation and Parks Department at the hourly rate of $15 per hour, effective November 4th, 2021.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move to enter into an agreement as well as authorize the purchase of hardware, software, and accessories from Fundamental Business Solutions, 14 Front Street, Hempstead, New York, for parking enforcement management for the total amount of $4,646.65 as per the quote dated October 27, 2021, subject to review and approval by the town attorney as to form and substance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move to adopt the following resolution. Whereas the Commissioner of the Department of Public Works for the town of Newcastle seeks authorization to purchase water meters from Rio Supply Inc. of New York at a total cost of $25,250,460. $25,000. How much is that? There's an extra digit in there.
655,916.
Water meters.
I think it's 25,046. That's what it says lower down.
There you
Under
go.
the-
Yeah.
there's no-
Okay. $25,046. And whereas Rio Supply Inc. of New York is the tri-state area's sole distributor of Neptune Technology Group water meters and water meter maintenance repair parts, and whereas the proposed purchase represents a sole source procurement because only Rio Supply Inc. can supply the Neptune Technology Group water meters required by the town. And whereas the town has to use Neptune Technology Group products because such products are the only products compatible with the town's existing equipment and billing software. And whereas the town may purchase the water meters without competitive bidding under the sole source procurement exemption, now therefore be it resolved that the town of Newcastle hereby authorize the purchase of water meters from Rio Supply Inc. of New York, 100 Allied Parkway, Sicklerville, New Jersey, for the total cost of $25,046 as per the quote dated September 22nd, 2021.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I move to adopt the following resolution. Whereas on August 6th, 2021, the town issued an advertisement and notice to bidders seeking bids to close in place of one 4,000 gallon UST and one 4,000 gallon diesel UST, the closure and removal of one 8,000 gallon number 2 fuel oil UST, and the installation of one 5,000 gallon gasoline AST and one 5,000 gallon diesel AST and one 5,000 gallon number 2 fuel oil AST. And whereas the bids were opened on September 3rd, 2021 at 10 a.m. And whereas the base bid amount of $697,967 includes the installing 3 new above ground tanks for diesel fuel, gasoline, and heating oil, removing the existing underground heating oil tank, and closing in place the underground diesel fuel and gasoline tanks. And whereas the Commissioner of Public Works recommended adding alternate 2, $9,950, which includes the removal and replacement of one Vetter Root TLS 350R with one Veter Root TLS 450 plus tank monitoring system. And whereas Commissioner of Public Works selected deduction 3, $52,000 for restorative asphalt concrete paving work because the town can perform this work in-house. And whereas on September 28th, 2021, the town board adopted a resolution to award the contract for the DPW 2021-09 fuel tank replacement project to Adventura Construction Company Corporation, 1101 Waverly Avenue, Holtsville, New York, for the total cost of $655,917. And while said resolution set forth the correct contract price, which included award of the base bid, the addition of alternate 2 and the selection of deduction 3, the resolution did not specify the award of alternate 2 and deduction 3, and therefore the board hereby adopts this resolution to clarify the board's award. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby confirms its September 28th, 2021 resolution to clarify that the board awarded the contract for the DPW 2021-09 fuel tank replacement project to Adventura Construction Corp. For $655,917, including the base bid, the addition of alternate 2, and the selection of deduction 3.
Second.
A good one. Good.
Aye.
Aye. Is that it?
I think that's it. That was the last one I had.
That's it.
Anyone want to take us home? Or we're all home actually, but in order.
Yes, I move to close the work session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh. All right, everyone. Until next time. Good night.
Aye.
Cheers and good night.
Have a pleasant tomorrow.